Everything felt so vibrant back then, bro. Like I still remember like 2010 and all of that. I still remember middle school and the parties that we used to have in middle school and all the music that used to be playing. Like it was just vibrant. Everything was just more vibrant. The music was vibrant. I remember that song. I think it's called like Party Rock, I think. It was just like fun. It was like upbeat. Nowadays everything is just bland and dry. Like where's the feeling? Where's the is anything like it's just so stale nowadays. Even the feeling that I used to get like the nostalgic feeling with like I can't even explain it. But I used to get like a certain feeling when I like looked at something like a tape. I don't know if any of y'all had a VCR before with tapes, but that type of stuff used to give me a feeling. Like just looking at a movie tape. He said holidays ain't the same. Facts. But I remember how holidays used to feel like with the music. Shit was just different. Nowadays you literally feel nothing from this stuff. Like he said early 2010s was fun being in elementary. Facts. It was just a whole different feeling, bro. You used to hear music like T-Pain playing. Like that type of music, like you could tell it wasn't forced, like it was just vibrant. Like they was just I don't know. But you would hear that type of stuff like on the radio. Like I really miss growing up without technology. You didn't even have none of that pressure on you. You wasn't caring about no number of likes or number of views. None of that shit was in your mental, bro. So it just made everything just flow so much better. Nothing felt forced because you didn't have nothing to worry about, especially without technology at a young age. All you was able to focus on was what's right in front of you. Nowadays, there's just so much information hitting you at once. Like you can't just sit there and enjoy nothing no more. It's like so much things. It's all this information. It's all these different like trends going on in your algorithm. It's just constant. He said when fun hip hop rap was still a thing. Yeah, bro. They wasn't even taking it too serious. Like they wasn't even forcing it. They was just vibing, making their songs. Now it's all about, oh, what's your first week numbers? Did you get on Billboard? Like everything is just calculated now. Back then, nobody cared about that shit. We didn't care about no analytics. We didn't care about how much views that a movie had back then. You just sat there and you chilled out and you watched a movie. Nothing in your head about a movie was like, oh, how much did this movie make in the box office? How much views did this have before I watch it? Who else likes this movie that I don't know around the world? Like, you wasn't worrying about none of that. You was just in the moment. But yeah, I just feel like technology changed everything too. Like technology played a huge role in why things are the way they are today and why it's so different from back then. You had less pressure, you had less things to worry about. You had less information hitting you in the face at one time. The time wasn't even going as fast as it is nowadays. And the crazy part is that there's young babies growing up with technology. So they'll never even experience life how we did, which is crazy. They're automatically gonna be hit with all of this technology in their face. They're never gonna truly be able to experience life in its most natural form without any technology. This is why I'm so glad I got to experience that. He said everybody's expectations through the roof nowadays. That's why it's unbearable being around certain people. Facts. Like there's so many, like you said, there's so many expectations and standards now. So much things that you never even used to think about back then. You now it's just constant. He said Gen Alpha is cooked. This is why I try to like keep things like how I mentioned before. Like I like to keep things original, because I just don't want to lose myself with all of this stuff out here. I like keeping things a certain way. This is why no matter how much time goes by, I'ma always like remain the same person that I am. I'm gonna watch the same movies I grew up on, the same music. Just keep everything natural. I'm not trying to hold on to the past, but I just want to hold on to whatever is natural to me. Like, even if it might seem outdated to a lot of people, I'm just sticking to whatever is original. Because these people just be overboard with it. They gonna continue trying to update everything a million times. Like, I'm not keeping up with that, bro. For one, it's not even natural to keep up with something like that in the first place. Who the hell wants to keep up with something like an algorithm that's changing a million times per second? You gotta keep up with so much shit. Like, no, bro, I'm just sticking to whatever's original. Y'all can have fun following a million trends every second. Every second you got a new trend that you gotta live up to. And they think that type of stuff is normal, but it's like, there was once a time where we never even had technology like that, or it wasn't even as advanced. And we was able to live without none of that. We didn't have to worry about a trend back then. He said chasing the algorithm will only leave you depressed and burnt out. Facts. He said maybe even suicide. He said maybe even suicidal. Yeah, bro, it's too much pressure on you. You gotta constantly keep up with people's attention spans. With everything going so fast, so it's like people's doing whatever they can to keep up with people's attention spans, like to grab people's attention. So they're gonna do whatever outlandish thing that they gotta do to stay relevant in people's faces. That's just too much if you ask me. Like, I'll rather just stick to what's original. And just be in the present moment.